Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of What Drives You. I am one of your co-hosts, Stan Windhorn, and with me is my good buddy and co-host, Carl Bauer. Carl, say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone. Stan, can you believe this is episode 61?
Yes and no. I mean, it's gone by really fast, but we've really put in the effort and so appreciate all of the people we've had as guests so far. I find it interesting, and I think you do too, that we've had some people who are friends and coworkers or whatever, and sometimes it's tough to get people to give us 30 minutes to talk about themselves. What's your thoughts on that? Why do you think that happens?
I think a few things. I think part of it is there's who are these guys? What are they talking about? Do they know what they're doing? Do they have an audience? That's one of them. The other thing
All right.
is,
I can buy that for the people that we don't really know, but I'm talking about people who I would consider friends, and they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, maybe next week, maybe next week." Do you think they're just afraid that they don't know what to say?
yeah, I think it's a
Um,
little don't know what to say. I also think it's a little bit of who cares about little old Jim Bob or Billy Bob or Boona Jai? You know what I mean? Um, but everybody's story is powerful. There's a nugget in it,
yeah.
I believe, in everyone's story that can help somebody. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Anyway, so today we do not have a guest, but we do want to kind of continue with our series of people who are also YouTubers who have really done really, really well. And this is one that I really wasn't aware of, but you sent me a video, and wow, first of all, I want this guy's life. His name is Brodie Moss. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about Brodie and what you like about him so much?
Yeah. So Brodie is a former tradesperson. I can't remember if he was a plumber or an electrician, but tradesman that just is an adventure guy. Lives in Australia on the north side of Australia, and in my brain, I always think of Australia as cloudy, murky water with great white sharks in it. I don't know if anyone else does, but that's kind of how my brain works.
When you think of what? You think of great white sharks?
Australia.
The Great Barrier Reef and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, they're there. What I'm saying is, I don't picture this crystal clear water that you would see when you go
Hmm.
watch. And the name of Brodie's channel is YBS Youngbloods. When you go there, by the way, he has, as of yesterday, 8.59 million subscribers with a high water mark. And that's the video I shared with you, Stan, of 32 million views. So the young man, is a powerhouse and now just does YouTube full time. So, but
Let
with,
me ask you a couple things.
yeah,
Do you know what the YBS stands for?
I do not, I cannot remember.
Okay. And I only watched this one video. Are they all about lobster hunting like the one that you sent me?
They're really about, it's a little bit of surviving off the ocean, um,
Mm,
taking only what you require. So there are many episodes, Stan, where he'll catch a big fish and he'll be like, nah, this one's too pretty and big. I'm going to throw it back. Like
yeah.
sometimes the lobsters, he gets these giant lobsters, like world record lobsters, like that's too pretty and big, or it's a mother and he throws them back. So he's very sustainable use, but he's really about the environment. So a lot of times he'll pick up trash and just bring awareness to that whole northern coast of Australia, who again, not to belabor something for Youngbloods or for Brodie, but it is beautiful, as you said. And now he's just full time. So I think he's sponsored by a boat and some tackle place. He sells a lot of swag and gear stuff, but it's basically him, Brodie, his dog Strider, his brother's in from time to time, his dad, his girlfriend, who's from Italy, who I think Stan was in that episode, his nieces and nephews. But I mean, they basically just explore the whole northern coast of Australia. And he is an amazing spear fisherman, regular fisherman, and naturalist, really. I mean, that's really what the show has turned into. Like, how do we preserve all of this?
Right. Yeah, and I noticed that theme. When he was, well, in that particular episode, he got this. I've never seen a lobster that big, but he just said this thing's been around for a long time and making other little lobsters, and so even though it was like this, the biggest one they had found, they put it back.
Yeah, and he'll do some adventures like, 48 hours with a knife only, like these challenges for himself. Um, he's done a couple cool ones like 24 hours in a glass bottom canoe where he's just filming the sea. And again, that's another preconception I think a lot of us have is the oceans are dirty, there's plastic everywhere, they're dying, whatever. His episodes and where he explores give me hope that there's actually, I mean, he's got manatees, they call them something else down there. Um, Dolphins, whales, I mean, just everything, and he's right there with them. My fear of sharks, which I is probably unwarranted, has kind of gone away from him. There's another channel we're going to get to in our series that like he's not afraid of them at all. He will go in the water. Now, if he shoots something, there's blood in the water and they're swarming, he gets out. But if it's just one on one, he's in there cool. He'll touch them. He'll keep the distance. He just knows how to do it.
I don't think I ever told you this story, Carl, but I learned to scuba dive when I lived in Miami
Oh,
and got certified. My first ever ocean dive was in Key Largo, John Pennekamp State Park. It's an underwater park.
very
Um,
famous. Yeah.
and before we got in the water, the dive master said, there's a good chance you're going to see George. And George is like a 7 foot bull shark, which, by the way, bull sharks have more attacks on humans than I think any other breed. And maybe it's just because there's more of them where humans are. I don't know. But anyway, he said, don't worry. He sees, hundreds of divers every single day. Don't harass him or anything like that, but don't panic either. And sure enough, on my very first dive, I'm kind of swimming, and all of a sudden I see this big old shark. And I mean, I'm guessing he was maybe 30 feet away, 20 feet away. I don't know. It wasn't like super close to me, but I saw him come through. And because they had told me about him, I wasn't afraid at all. If they wouldn't have told me that it was George and he was the resident shark on that reef, I probably would have freaked out a little bit. But it was really, really cool to see that majestic figure just going through the water. That's the thing about scuba diving or snorkeling. I don't know if you have you ever scuba dived?
Yeah, a friend of mine, Cody, he he got certified and he semi-certified me in a pool, but I never got out in the ocean with scuba. I have snorkeled in the ocean multiple
Yeah.
times, and I'll tell you my first story in Key West, but go ahead.
Well, the thing about it that I love, and I haven't done it in a long time, but thing that I love, but also is a little frustrating, especially if you're diving in a really great place, like where Brodie Moss was diving in that video. Um, there's so many incredibly beautiful things that you see that you kind of, oh, wow, look at that fish. What is that? Look at the colors on it. And you want to spend some time on that. But next thing you know, there's another one, and then there's something else, and there's something else. So you don't have time to really focus, or at least I didn't. I was just, always really enjoying it. And it's just such a peaceful thing to do.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it should be, and he kind of shows that side of it.
Unless
We
you
went on,
run out of air at 90 feet, which happened to me one time too. That's a whole nother story. I
yeah,
don't recommend that.
yeah, probably not. No, so my first open water, like deep water, snorkel was in Key West. We went out on one of those, snorkel things. And Stan, I got in the water and there was no warning. They're like, hey, there's gonna be all kinds of fish. Be careful, kind of stay in the group. Don't get too far away. I dived down a giant stingray. I'm talking like 12 feet. That was the first thing I see. So
Hmm.
I'm in shock because I felt like this big.
Yeah.
That's the other thing in the ocean with these whale sharks and these dolphins. We are just a tiny little speck. And guess what? We're in their world. So they can take you out in the blink of an eye. So yeah,
Yeah. One of
but
my early dives I saw, I think they call it a spotted ray or a dolphin ray. It's got the nose of a dolphin, but it's got spots on it like a leopard. I forget what they call it, but it was just huge. but the way it just flowed through the water and it was underneath me and I just kind of cruised along with it for a little while. Just incredible, incredibly beautiful. You know, where one of the things that Brodie Moss was doing that I just don't know if I could do it. And I get it when they were lobstering. My older brother used to go after lobsters like that, but when Brodie Moss and his team were down there, man, sticking your hand in the just looking in the hole down there. I mean, what if it's a an eel or something like that? I mean, I'm not as brave as he is to be digging around in holes under the ocean like that. But
Yeah, no.
I'm
He's
sure he's had a lot of experience. He knows what he's doing.
and he's Stan, one of, besides him being an amazing naturalist and a good filmer and super high energy, and I hope that came across on the video you watched. And there's more, so everybody, check out YBS Youngbloods. He's one of the few, and I'll kind of highlight these as we go. He's one of the few that helped me get through COVID, because as I sat here in this office, this very office, and kind of wondered like when all this was going to end, he literally transported me to a different place of peace and beauty and adventure that I could not have experienced. Obviously, with COVID, we couldn't even get on planes really or go anywhere. But it just gave me an escape. So, Brodie, thank you. You're one of the few channels that like helped me survive COVID and kind of inspired this channel too. Because not that we're going to go out and stick our hands into eels' mouths or sharks' mouths, but definitely challenged me to tell stories and share other stories and really just go after the YouTube channel and community.
Well, I enjoyed the video you sent me. I'm going to check out a couple of his others. That's Brodie Moss and it's YBS Youngbloods. I really want to know what the YBS stands for.
Well, we will
Maybe
find out.
young, well, Youngblood, YB Youngblood, something Youngbloods. It doesn't make sense.
I don't know,
I
but
don't know.
Brodie, if you're out there, I know your time zones are a little different, seasons are a little different. We would love, love, love to get you on a Zoom and find out what drives you, Mr. Brodie
Yes,
Moss.
mate. Yes, mate.
And you can bring Strider too.
Bring
Ah,
Strider. We'll put some shrimp on the bobby for you, mate. Yeah, that'd be great. Brodie Moss on what drives you. I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, let's encourage our people to check him out. Like Carl said, he's got a great energy. He's got a lot of energy, but it seems just I almost use the word pure energy. He just seems like a genuinely good person to trying to do the right thing.
I'd like to hang with him for sure.
Yep. Well, cool.
Thanks, Stan.
All right, Carl. See y'all soon on the next edition of What Drives You. Hey, by the way, if you have anybody that you would like us to try to get on the show, or if you would like to come on, let us know.
Stan, a little sneak peek before we go. Our sneak peek of our next episode in this series is the Professor Live. So stay tuned for that one, everybody.
All right. See y'all soon.
Later, bye.